An in-depth look at the economic state of Grand Bahama.
I can't even pay my light bill. I'm in darkness right now. And I see no way out but Jesus Christ.
The Prime Minister says the government will work to resuscitate the island's economy.
It's all work in progress.
Armed robberies continue to plague the country, plus crime watch groups partner with police to chart the way forward.
When you know your neighbors, that is a prevention for crime.
I'm Nikia DeVoe, and this is NB12 Weekend. Everyone, thanks for joining us this Saturday for NB12's Weekend Edition. Grand Bahama's ailing economy has been a topic of heated political discussion since the economic downturn, and it's come up again this week since a major announcement by the government. Tonight, we take an in-depth look at the state of Grand Bahama. Earlier this week, the Christie administration announced a major initiative that will hopefully boost the tourism industry on Grand Bahama. But with the economy already in a slump, those who currently work in that sector say they're just scraping by each month. Our Jasmine Bonamy was in Grand Bahama this week and filed this report.
Grand Bahama's ailing economy has impacted just about everyone who resides on the island, but the most heavily impacted has been those within the tourism industry. For years, Grand Bahama's economy has remained in a slump. The hardest hit industry has been tourism on that island. Our news team caught up with several frontline workers in the tourism industry on that island who explained the deep and devastating impact they continue to face years after two major hurricanes and a global economic recession. Evidence of how bad the situation is can be seen at the once bustling and now nearly deserted International Bazaar. On average, only 10 straw vendors show up each day at the facility that was made to hold 70 vendors. President of the International Bazaar Straw Vendors Association, Irene Davis, admits it's been a struggle for years, and for the past 4 months, she's been living without electricity.
Right now, I'm not ashamed to tell you, my life was off from the 1st of June. I can't even pay my light bill. I'm in darkness right now. And I see no way out but Jesus Christ. I pray God that He provides something for us. We don't see nobody. They take everybody part Lakaya, and we've been begging too long now. It's just terrible out here. When I say terrible, you come out because you don't want to stay home, because this is what causing a lot of people, I believe, having stroke and stress, because they sit down and do not come out amongst other people. But I come out because I would rather be out than to be in the house.
A major part of the issue, she says, is the handful of tourists that visit Grand Bahama are not brought to the bazaar. The most recently released statistics reveal that Grand Bahama has the highest unemployment rate in the country. That figure stands at 21.2%, and that means thousands of people are out of work. Taxi drivers we spoke to say while they're not exactly on the unemployment line, they continue to struggle with less than lackluster business, sometimes going home with nothing in their pockets for days on end.
Grand Bahama had been left out. And every day we just out here trying to make a dollar. A taxi driver, I comes to work at 5:30 in the morning. The first flight will get here 6:30, 7 o'clock. And by the end of the day, I might have $40 in my pocket. Now, I don't know what to do. The Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister had promised that he got 3 jets and they're going to bring people in. We're looking forward to the new government performing those promises that was promised. And Mr. Perry Christie had made an announcement. He said that he has something big coming in.
It's really tough to, and you can come out of your bed from 3 o'clock in the morning and sit down all day and don't get a job home. And that's sometimes happen like 3 and 4 days out of the week. Most of our taxi drivers out here like 2 o'clock in the morning waiting for the first flight to come in. Sometimes they come in and we don't get a job until around 3 or 4 o'clock in the day, if we get one. You know, so it's not, you know, it's not no fun out here. For the taxi drivers, we know.
Tourism-wise, is nothing much happening for the tourism in Freeport, except for when the cruise ship come in, and only certain people can make money from the cruise ship, certain taxi drivers. I comes out here like 6 o'clock in the morning, sometimes I be here till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the evening, and he make a dollar. When those are the taxi drivers coming from the cruise ship, they charging $10 a per round trip, put their money in the pocket, and we can't get none back. So it's hurting all of us. I prefer sitting down here and don't see no tourists than to go up and look at you, sit down there, see tourists walking around, and when it's time for them to go back to the ship, I can't get none.
Meantime, Prime Minister Perry Christie announced on Wednesday big plans to revitalize the tourism sector in Grand Bahama in order to create more jobs. The renovation of the Arlukaya Reef Village is expected to create more than 1,000 jobs. Those we spoke to say they're hopeful about that new project. Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Bonamy.
Issues at the International Bazaar are nothing new. A few months ago, NB12 reported about the desolate state. With only a handful of stalls open each day, that has not gone unnoticed by government officials. Last month, Minister of Grand Bahama Dr. Darville said it's an issue that has been noted by his ministry. However, vendors say nothing has been done. Our news team caught up with Prime Minister Christie on Wednesday, who said his government's strategy is to first get more visitors and then get them to visit the historical site.
We firstly have to try and get tourists to come to Grand Bahama. That's what we're doing. We opened a hotel, the Blue Marlin Cove, in the West End area, Boodle Bay, earlier, several weeks ago. We now have this announcement, and it's going to continue. Where we are now in a position to have constructive talks with the owners of hotels in the immediate vicinity, or the owner of the hotel properties in the immediate vicinity of the Bazaar, with a view to how we could sort of incentivize their being able to find a real purpose for them. In other words, to see how we can go about getting them open. It's all work in progress, and we have to take it by day, and that's what we're doing.
Christie adds that the government will specifically target hotel properties around the Bazaar. He adds that the Ministry of Tourism will launch a number of initiatives bringing in more tourists than usual. He said things should be looking up very soon for vendors and store owners at the International Bazaar. And speaking of tourism, Minister Obi Wilscombe revealed this week that tourism numbers in the Bahamas are up, and that includes Grand Bahama. It's good news for the island, which has recently seen a 14% increase in tourist arrivals after suffering a drastic increase in its tourism industry over the years.
When we left office in 2007, we left overnight visitor arrivals at 587,000. Last year, we saw it plummeted to 180,000 less, a significant drop of 69%. I'm happy to report that tourism is now on the increase. We're seeing an increase in Grand Bahama of 14%. Nationally is up 8%, and we will certainly exceed 5 million tourists again this year.
Now, that decrease was attributed to the downturn in the economy and the closure of several hotels on the island, which was once a popular tourist destination. Wilscombe gave a breakdown of the loss of hotel rooms.
After the hurricanes, we lost 800 hotel rooms. Subsequent to that, the Lighthouse, we lost 1,000 hotel rooms. And then the Reef, another hotel, shut their doors, and so our inventory had dropped significantly.